Hi, we are Group H from the Emerging Leaders class of 2024, and our presentation is Empowering ALA's Future Strategic Philanthropy for Expanding Donor Engagement. I'm Angela Daniels. I'm the librarian at the Alternative School for Math and Science in Corning, New York.
Yes, I'm Bria Gilliam. In Fairfax, Virginia, I'm the librarian at Washington Theological Seminary.
My name is Elena Rios. I'm a youth services librarian for Cranston Public Libraries in Cranston, Rhode Island.
Hi, I'm Elisa Burtado, and I'm a children's librarian at the Springdale Public Library in Arkansas.
I'm Shuyu. I'm the health sciences librarian at California State University, Fresno.
Our objectives were to help the ALA identify new donor demographics to focus on. So we've been researching effective strategies utilized by analogous organizations to attract and retain new donor demographics. And then we've crafted an outreach and communication strategy to help tailor our outreach to these prospective donors. Our first strategy was to interview both stakeholders and potential donors. So we were able to work through the PAG and we interviewed former presidents, we interviewed donors, we interviewed all kinds of stakeholders to see what their experience both as a donor and as a fundraiser with the ALA has been. We also reached out through our local library communities. You may have noticed that we all come from different kind of library communities. So we talked to different patrons within our library communities to find out what they know about the ALA and what kinds of things would motivate them to possibly be donors for the ALA.
So describing our project, we were basically finding new groups of people who might want to donate to ALA and studying how other organizations like ALA attract and keep these new groups of donors. And we made a plan to talk to these potential donors in a way that makes them interested. So again, we did surveys and interviews and lots of research. So our results are in the report. It has ideas for new types of donors and why we think they're a good choice, a plan to reach out to them, including what to say or do, and marketing materials. Our main goal is to help ALA get a more diverse group of donors and be more inclusive with its charity work.
So the first part of our project was to identify target audiences, group of people who are most likely to support ALA. Some of them are librarians and library professionals, are the staff who work in libraries, no matter the kind of them, can be academic, school library, a special library, or public library. Another group can be library students and educators, library patrons and users, because ALA advocates for library patrons' rights and promote access to information. Another group is library authors, publishers, and content creators, because we promote their works, advocates for intellectual freedom, educators and researchers, community leaders and policymakers, technology and information professional, and diverse and underrepresented communities.
Using SWOT analysis, we recognized a few things: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Some of those examples we saw were in our extensive network, meaning the ALA has a vast network of members, including librarians, educators, and advocates, strengthening its influence and reach within the library community, and advocacy power, meaning ALA has a strong track record of advocating for libraries and information access rights at the national and local levels. We also recognized ALA as a resource hub on top of its commitment to diversity. Then we saw some weaknesses, meaning funding challenges, member engagement, technological adaptation, and identity crisis. This refers to the general public, and in many cases, even the organization's members are unaware of the mission and work of the ALA. However, we saw opportunities for digital literacy initiatives, community engagement, global outreach, and threats of budget cuts. Some technological disruption and competition, meaning alternative sources of information such as an online retailer and streaming services, may challenge the ALA's efforts to promote the value of libraries in the community.
So we see there are vast opportunities both within and outside the organization, but we need a strategic fundraising plan supported by all sections of ALA. Currently, we lack a cohesive version. Individual stakeholders have great strategies, but we need a unified mechanism to implement those plans organization-wide. Fundraising is poorly supported within our structure. To develop a sustainable long-term strategy, we need to expand our staff and the volunteer communities and consider creating a dedicated fundraising section. The first priority is a culture shift within ALA. Members must understand our work and why we need their financial support. Educated members can be our best advocates, connecting us to library patrons and the public. One accessible donor pool is our current membership. We should explore why members donate or don't and make it easier for them to contribute. Additionally, our campaign should target patrons who are likely to donate if given the opportunity, such as people of color, parents, and book lovers. In summary, we can build a strong and sustainable fundraising pipeline to support ALA's mission by developing a strategic plan, educating our members, and effectively targeting patrons. Thank you for listening to our presentation.